Welcome back to Factorio Nullius mod and the October-November community map. So I did a little bit of work in interim, so what I've done is basically let more robots build up. Something I've realised with these robots is because these only have 2 slots rather than the normal, I think they're all full normally. Having just one robot for both the logistics and the construction bots to fill up here meant it's very easy for one or the other just to get blocked. So very simply just change that to have one each. Same circuit condition however. So over here I extended this out for more CO2 and the nitrogen byproduct which gives energy. And I think the only big difference here is I moved these turbines from a vertical layout to horizontal layout because I thought it was a little bit tidier that way. And as you can see, building the robot network across pretty much the whole base, at least the main area I'm actually building. So what I actually did was instead of putting robots down, mostly I just used these, where have I got one, relays and chargers individually. These don't have any storage capacity, so when the robots are done over here, they're going to have to come back over here to where the robot ports are to basically land somewhere. The other thing I have done is I did build 10 more of these down here, but I think this is not going to be a complete solution because I do think there's now not enough water production. So first of all, I'm going to go solve that, because what I have got is I have got this well here which I've not been doing anything with, and this gives fresh water. And looking through the recipes, it's quicker to turn fresh water into basic water than it is to basically do this desalination setup here. So I'm going to try that out on this and then see if I go from there, whether I want to do it that way or not in the future for other sources of water. So coming on to what I want to achieve for this episode, I really want to try and finally get rid of some of these byproducts. So I've got all the chlorine and stuff here which kind of gets used a little bit, but eventually just ends up being in this dead end acid here. So I need to do something with hydrochloric acid, and over here I have got the stone and the gravel which I just keep putting more and more boxes down for. So looking at the recipes, I think I have a solution for this. So if I come here, I've got this sag reprocessing. This can turn gravel into sand and mineral dust, and sand is not really a byproduct for me because I am using up sand here. For example, I'm using it for this aluminium here. This is not backing up generally, and I am still producing a little bit of fresh sand over here. So what I can do is turn the gravel into sand and then use that sand in priority to this. Then that's also going to give me the mineral dust. Now where the mineral dust will come in is looking through the recipes I found this one here. So this takes mineral dust and hydrochloric acid and turns it into sludge and a tiny bit of CO2. Don't think it's really enough CO2 to worry about, but the sludge I can treat fairly simple. It's a very simple machine here, and then you dump it in the lake. And the acid I've got here, which is this thing that's gradually filling up. So by doing that, I'll be able to drain out some of this acid as well. And that basically gets rid of that. Now the other thing that's kind of building up a little bit is the hydrogen chloride. Now the hydrogen chloride I can use to make lubricant, and it's the lubricant that makes the acid. If I make more lubricant, I can switch over all my metal processing from basically these recipes to these oiled recipes, which is like from 5 to 6 into 6 to 8. So it's a more efficient recipe. And basically I'm just using up a little bit of gas here, which is methane and oxygen, which aren't too hard to produce. And I'm basically getting rid of this hydrogen chloride I don't really want building up here. Now the hydrogen chloride comes from this plastic, which means if I extend this plastic I'll get more of it, which I think I might need more plastic at some point in the future. We'll have to see how that goes. Right now it is backed up though. But this particular plastic here does use up this chlorine. Now that said, this is also using a byproduct over here, so I think I'll keep the propene as the primary plastic, which comes first. And that's just because I don't really want the propene to back up. There's nothing else for me to do with it other than store it over here. So coming down here to make that water for the electrolysis. So this is the recipe I want. So it's turning 200 fresh water into 170 water versus 100 into 70. Plus you then need to desalinate it, which creates even more waste. So this is a lot more efficient on the hydro plants, and it gets rid of the pretty expensive distilleries because each of these is $250 each, so they're quite a bit. So for the wastewater, I'm going to want to get rid of that, just dump it into the sea I guess, or into this pond rather. So let's see if I can get that there. And I think what I can do with these to make these compact is if I do that, just move that over. So that's just going to be a straight pipe there. Do that, and I'm thinking since that makes 20 and that dumps 100, I think, yep, 100. Let's have 5 of those, and that's a nice round number. So that's going to be 5 times 200's 1,000. They produce 125 each, so that should be 8 of those. And that can just go along there, so that's going to be a very simple and compact layout. Certainly a lot easier than the desalination option, as well as being cheaper and more effective. And what I found I'm going to do as well is come around here. Because these run all the time and these run only some of the time, what I think I'll do is if I can get some more tanks. Looks like I've used all of the tanks up I had. Let's get some more of those. But basically I'm going to have these here or somewhere. Let's say there. Get some more pumps as well. So fill up the tank with the fresh water, or not the fresh water, with the regular water, basic water, distilled water. I don't really know what you want to call it. The game just calls it water. I suppose it's like pure water of some sort. And then I'm going to take that water and feed that into all the electrolysis machines. And the reason for the pump there is just to make sure that the tanks can fill up all the way, and I still get good throughput when the tanks are not full. Coming over here then, so with 20 of these each producing 140 per second, I think this pipe here is not enough, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this pipe to a red pipe all the way along. Now while I wait for the robots to do that, I want to make some changes over here. Might need to move these robot things around. So first of all, since now I've got a new water supply, I don't need this here for water, I just need this here for brine. So I want to stop throwing the brine away if I can, and I want to kind of try and drain that tank for a little bit. So that's the one thing to get rid of. I need to get rid of this thing. So that dumping is going to be got rid of for now. And basically I just want to use the brine just to make the chlorine and the sodium hydroxide here. Now that has another effect, that this water here is therefore no longer surplus. This water here is a byproduct. So as a byproduct I'm going to pump it straight into that tank along with the other byproduct water. Also, since I've got a new water supply and I want to make sure I don't drain this, you can see I've drained these tanks with the electrolysis. I want the water to be able to go up there. So they support up to 85% pressure. So if I have a valve, which is a relief valve for 75%, I'm only going to send this water here into these. If I can make that more tidy, I can put that over here like that. But I'm only going to send that water over there if these tanks are full. Let's just get that out the way. Then for the brine, what I want to do with the brine is, this is surplus or byproduct from this. Now probably at some point I'll upgrade this to the layout I just did there, but for the time being I don't want to. So the hydrogen is the important thing. Brine I want to just, well brine, I don't want this to back up basically, and if it backs up I want to then vent it, but I also don't want to be just wasting brine like I said. So if I put a tank here, got the connection on that side, and I think that side it's not quite symmetrical, so just rotate it until I find where I want it. Put a pump on there. I've actually got this small pump because I was a bit lacking space, and small pumps are the same speed as those ones but only one tile, so that's pretty nice. So that's going to go into there. Then if I pump it out of that tank, so it's going to keep the tank full and it's going to keep this pipe pressurised however full this tank is or isn't. So then what I was thinking was, if I have a red pipe here, this red pipe supports a higher pressure than this pipe, and this pump is going to try and, I just didn't quite get that right, did I? Maybe I should have used a regular tank then. Well, I guess I can do it that way, that works. So this red pipe is going to be filled up by that pump, and this red pipe supports a higher pressure. So if this here is a red pipe like so, this pipe is filled up by the pump, and then this machine can't run, it'll get blocked on the brine. If this tank is empty, then the brine will be able to be produced by here, and these will top it up. But just in case I still get too much brine, what I'm going to do is put a relief valve on here as well, I think. And then I can take that down over here somewhere. Just find a place for another outflow. There, looks good, that looks like it works. So that can then come up, and then that'll be the overflow for the brine. The overflow is only going to be used for the electrolysis over there. It won't be used for this. And I was thinking about deleting this tank because I don't really want a tank here, but there is 13k brine in it. So I guess it doesn't really do any harm just leaving it there. And actually another little tweak I think I need is, now this hydrogen here, because this hydrogen is basically a byproduct of making chlorine and sodium hydroxide, I really don't want this hydrogen here to back up either. So what I think I'm going to do is just get rid of that bit of complexity and just have this pump by itself. This hydrogen here already has the pumps over here. Kind of want to get this priority because this is the byproduct hydrogen, and I think this will be achieved anyway because as it stands with this pump here, this here is closer to this one I think than it is to this one, so it should give a little bit of priority to these ones I think. So moving on to the first wheel expansion for this. When I was looking at the aluminium it's running at full speed, there wasn't quite enough caustic solution. So I'm going to build some more of these, and I can't really build it there, so maybe I can put them over here, so I can move that water pipe if I need to, for example. Also move this relay here if I need to. So let's see if I can put that. I need one pipe underneath by the looks of things. So maybe this can go like here. So I need to actually build some more of those as well. I wasn't thinking ahead in terms of building stuff, was I? So what I can then do is... basically that just needs to connect to those, so that doesn't interfere with any other pipe. That's the water input. So I can get the water from the pipe. Not that pipe, it's actually that pipe. So yeah, I can get the water from here easy enough. And actually something I forgot about, so I do need to move this up one tile regardless. Is of course I do need to get the sodium hydroxide in. So if I move that up one tile, then the belt can go there, and then where I left those gaps anyway, I can put the inserters there, so that works quite nicely. And what I'm going to do here, I do need to get around this. Can I move this pipe over slightly? Yes I can, that's good. So let's see what I've got here. So I think what I want to do is I want to put these on the top edge. And it looks like they're actually not fast enough as inserters, so let's put some fast inserters there as well. So fast inserters on the top edge, get rid of those. That's going to come along there. I think I do still want to have the potential to buffer it a little bit, so what I'm going to do is kind of want to get rid of this box entirely because I'm obviously going to move this in a second. So this can come along here and I can still put these on there to basically drain that. But what I'm going to do is put... let's see how I want to do this. I think one will be good enough maybe. But I just have the ability to, if this backs up, basically stockpile a small amount. Probably that much. And the reason for that is because these are surge. So these won't run all the time, but I do want to have this all the time. So I need a little bit of a buffer. And then that can just come along there and go there. In fact, if I move this slightly, let's see if this is going to work. I want those to be on the top edge as well. Oh, they are very nice. So basically I'm just going to have that there, so if this does empty out I can start draining these as well. In fact, thinking about it, I kind of want to drain that sooner rather than later, but I also do still need to process the brine. What I think I'll do is I'll just split it 50-50 like this. So we'll use up some new stuff and some stored stuff. This can all just go, this is the old one. Make sure I don't cut the power to anything. What was this here? So this is the output I want for this. So what I think I need to do is rearrange these water pipes. I can move this one so it's not exactly there, because what I think I want to do to make this tidier is if I can just run this in a straight line, that'll be a lot tidier. So that was the one that goes over to here. Now where's that connect? So that connects up to there. So I guess I still do need something like, let's just do that. Then that frees up that bit of space there, I think. Then this water input here, that can connect up to that one. So that's the water that comes out of these tanks, so it goes in there, and this is surplus water that gets pumped into the tank. And then for the caustic solution itself, I'm going to have a nice simple pipe there. In fact, I think I want that to be the red pipe because it's quite a long way up and that's gradually running down, and the next one's up there, it's even further away. And this is a matter of reconnecting this. I want to move this anyway, because this is kind of in the way where it is here. I might extend this stuff. So I might take this opportunity and move this caustic solution over to somewhere here. I think that looks like it's out the way. So that would be basically up here. That works quite well. So you can come up here. This is nice empty space. If I move that slightly over there, then that can go there. That can come up there, and that keeps it hopefully out the way for the time being. While I wait for the robots to finish off that pipe, onto other things I seem to be very short of, which is capacitors. So I think what I want to do is I want to make sure I've got plenty of aluminium here, so I can upgrade this actually to the more efficient one, which basically means I'm getting more for the same amount of input. So more efficiency is good, and lubricant pipe is right there, so that's easy to upgrade. And that's basically the upgrade I'm thinking of doing for the rest of them over here eventually. Now I can't easily put more machines here though, so what I think I'll do is if I can make the tier 2 ones, which I could if I had some crucibles, which I've got down there. So that is these here. So what I'm thinking is this is still going to come across here, and I guess I can put output there. So then these would go, basically I want the tier 2 ones here. In a straight line would have been good, wouldn't it? So let's just copy the recipe across. So 1, 2, 3 should be plenty. They also need some other inputs. So I'm going to need these, I'm going to need graphite. So let's see if I can do graphite and then plastic and aluminum here. So aluminium rubber can come, just go there, underground belt it. Long hand inserters there and there, regular inserters there and there. So let's just adjust those, set the power. But I'm kind of getting tired of doing these long hand inserters. What I think I can do is if I make that a blueprint there and then put the blueprint in my very empty blueprint book. What I should be able to do now is we'll just go place the ghost, but I have got the robots. Saves me having to adjust them every time. That goes away. That becomes a splitter. Comes across the glass. And then that should provide them everything they need once I get rid of this. And extend this one over here. So oops, that was the wrong key. No, don't want it to do that either, that would be bad. And I think I still want it to be on the left, so what I'm going to do is bring it around there. So they can go there. Long hand inserters for output there and there. Bring that across, and they should provide me about 6 times I think actually as what I had before. So hopefully for capacitors I am now fine. Assuming of course that the aluminium doesn't break, so this is breaking because water. Did I break the water pipe when I was messing about with stuff? Tanks there are nearly full. I think I broke the pipe. Yeah, I forgot something, so this here I forgot, and what I need to do is get up to here, because what happened when I built these was obviously I deleted that bit of pipe, which was okay, except I forgot to reconnect it. So this should have been here, and there should be a corner there, and then that should be fine. Maybe I'll just upgrade it all to red pipe just to make absolutely sure on the distance. Well, probably a little bit less than I was thinking. So yeah, aluminium is the shortage here, and as it surprised me, so this basically means these 2 foundries here are using up the entire supply from these furnaces pretty much, and it's not enough for even 3 of those. So capacitors use up a lot of aluminium, it seems. Obviously I've got more aluminium here and I could expand it in various ways, but I think this will probably do because it is a lot more capacitors than I was getting at least, so this will back up eventually I think. It's just not as many as I thought I was going to get. Moving on to other things though, so for plastic, so something I learned since I built this is that these sides, these are both inputs and outputs, so the chlorine can travel straight through here. So what I can actually do is do that. I don't need to have the gap there because I can just have chlorine go straight through all of them. So I can improve this layout a little bit if I remove all of this basically. Build them in pairs like that. And then that's going to be a little bit more compact than what it was before. So also adjust that. Basically repeat this across here, and looks like that's as many as I can get. But that's a pretty large improvement in the number of plastic like chemical plants I've got there, so happy for that. I think that one would go there. But what this is going to mean is I'm going to need more ethylene, and thus I'm going to need more methane, even more so than before. So what I think I want to do is Definitely want to move these pipes here and here over here so they're kind of in the gap instead of where they are. So I think they're fairly straightforward just to move. Just need to dodge that underground there. So I could go to there, and that misses that underground and that underground. So they go up there, nothing particularly special, so I'll just do that quickly, just moving them over here. So rerunning this water pipe, I actually realised I still had a chimney here. Since I'm using nitrogen over there now for actual purposes, and the only reason I had this here at all was to get nitrogen for, I think something up there needed nitrogen, those needed nitrogen. So then this can just, instead of wasting nitrogen, if the nitrogen backs up and it stops, that's not really an issue. As long as the CO2 head does not back up, which I think I already sorted out with this layout. And then the water I was doing can just connect up here where the chimney was, so that solves that problem. So with all those extra pipes cleared out the way, I should be able to just build up some more ethylene here. Looks like in terms of space I can get, if I can get 2 more, let's see if 2 more will fit. No, but I can double it, so that will hopefully do for now. And methane, so what's the relationship here? So that produces 24 per second and they use 50 per second, so I probably do want a few more of those. Let's just check 24, 50. Kind of want to double that. Unfortunately I did build these here. I guess I can shift those over to the white maybe. How much would that give me in terms of space? I think I could get maybe another 2 of those. That's not exactly amazing. Alternatively, I could move some stuff over here. Don't think I ever really needed 2 tanks. This is storing the surplus methane from some other stuff, and I think 2 tanks was probably always excessive. In fact, I probably could just use 1 small tank, which would probably be a little bit more compact, especially if I use the small pumps to go with it. So that's coming down there. Let's just get rid of that for a second. See if I can clear out this space. So let's just, yeah, there wasn't enough methane in there for me to really care about. So look at this oxygen pipe. This kind of goes around here in kind of a messy way. So what I could do is, in fact, let's just say I was going to build the 2 of these here. That would take the oxygen up to about there, and then I can get the oxygen off of this pipe here. And if I do it that way round, then I don't need this pipe to go around here, and that gets that out the way there. So that can go. I'm still going to need this piece here until I get rid of this steel, which I'll do at some point, but I'm going to keep it for today. As for the hydrogen, I think the hydrogen is here. And let's see, this is hydrogen I'm draining, so this should be a output hopefully, otherwise I've messed up. Yeah, it's an output, so this is one I want to drain. So I could potentially pump it into there and it'd probably get priority over the other source here. So that could be a solution. So if I extend that over like so, and then at the end I just have a pump, that gets rid of that hydrogen. So if that goes there and I have a pump there and there like that, can I reach down? No, but I can have an extra one like that and put the tank on it. So that should be giving, did I get those connections right? I think I did, yeah. So that should be giving this here priority over. In fact, I think I didn't. Let's try and get that right. Hard to tell which way around this needs to go. Okay, I got that the right way around now. It's kind of hard to see where that connection is at the back. I wish there was an arrow on the tanks, but there's not. But I think that's the right way. So I've got to watch out for the chlorine there and the water there. That water is actually definitely in the way. Let's just forget about that for a second. And then see if I can copy these 2 here a few more times. So I can get one there and one there, but I do need to worry about this here. So can this reach 1 tile further? No, but the red one can for sure. And if it's going through the middle there, it's not going to collide with anything, so that's good. So that's the chlorine for the ethylene, and that's the CO2 for those. Because this is a pump and this is a red pipe, this here should get priority over those, so that should work out nicely. And it looks like I am still short on methane, so Why is that one not working? Actually, I'm short on hydrogen. Well, I could do that later, so what I'm going to do for now is going to move that one over there, which will give me a bit more space, and then I can build 2 more of those there easily. And basically it's just going to be the same as before, so I'm just going to link them up how I did the others. And I think the solution for hydrogen is just going to be to use a red pipe for this. I've actually run out of hydrogen at this moment, and I'm actually back on plastic as well, so I can't really test this, but I think that'll be correct. Moving on to lubricant, so looking at this, this needs every 4 seconds 12, so that means it needs every second 3. This produces 2 every second, so 1.5 of those to 1 of those, so I could do 2 and 3. So let's see what it's going to look like. So that's going to be 2 inputs, so 2 inputs needs 2 tiles of space. So in fact I can make this a bit more compact by moving that there. So if I'm going to have 3 of those, then I can actually go up right against that, I think. Try and make the best use of space possible. Probably should have copied that. So 3 of those, in fact actually I am wrong, that does need to go to the right a little bit I think. Let's go there, just have space to work with instead of trying to squash it in too much. So what I can do with double input like that is, because I've got that space in the middle, I can put the pipes like that, I think. Actually, no I can't, so I do need more space because that's not going to fit. So it's going to need a pipe there and a pipe there, which means that needs to go up 1 tile, so that goes there. Then I can input like that and that. Then they need 1 fluid input, so that's easy. Oh, so I'm looking at the wrong thing. What am I looking at the wrong thing for? This needs 2 fluid inputs, but I only need 2 of them, so I might have space here to do something. I've also got the 2 outputs, so in combination that is slightly awkward. I guess what I could do is, if I did like that, then they can get their solid inputs on the sides. Then I need to get from here to here, so that connects that one. That connects that one. I don't want to go there because I need to have a pipe there and then that would connect. So I could underground there to stop it connecting, underground there to get that. And then that's going to provide me the input there. And then for the outputs, that can go there. In fact, let's put the lubricant on top and that can go there. So lubricant out. And this is going to replace this entirely, so I can just basically delete those. And I think I'll keep the pipe I've already got, I guess. So bring both fluids over there and link into the stuff I had before. In fact, before I do that, looking at this, I might actually want more of the silicon ingots. So have I got a furnace on me? I have some furnaces, I think. Oh, they're different size. Well, different size is okay. So copy the recipe. But that'll be faster anyway, so this is actually going to be an even better upgrade. That can come there and output there. And that actually probably is right in the way of that pipe, isn't it? So the pipe I want to connect to is this one here. So that does miss the belt, fortunately. It comes across to here, so if that's there, then that links in there. That one's fine. And lubricant itself, I guess I could go up and across. So then let's just go there so I can make the corner. So possibly down here. Yeah, it looks like it works fairly well, except for hitting that. Let's try. Maybe I can do there instead. Well, close enough. That's an okay to have that little corner. Actually, I will make this red pipe as well, because that's going to go all the way up to the main bus. It is quite a long way. Now to contend with these pipes, well, this hair isn't really being used anymore, so I can just forget about this belt. So that helps with that layout. This hair is wanting to get up to this one, I think, so that can go like that. That provides that input. I guess for power I can just do like right in the middle there. And for silicon ingots, I've actually got ingots here, haven't I? So they could come across. Didn't mean to replace that one, that was a mistake. They can come up there, so that's the ingots to supply. Back to this though, so that should work. Ingots should come around there, and I need oxygen from there. And I need methane from, I think it's that methane. So that's on the bottom, so looks like the plastic is in a way a bit, but let's do that there. So then that gives me space to put that. Methane can come across there, and if I can get oxygen on here, then that misses all those other pipes. There's actually nothing up further, so that is just going to be a corner. Come along here past the nitrogen. I think I got that right. So that connects to there, that connects to there. So these should start working. And these should work as soon as I get some more ingots up here. So with the lubricants upgraded, basically what I want to do is upgrade all of these metal processing to use the lubricated versions for that extra increase in basically resource efficiency. So I've got the lubricant pipe here, I'm just going to go along, so there's another one, do them each in turn, just try and figure out where the pipes are to do it the simplest. So I'm going to need a pipe over there, so if I bring this across here and put a junction in, that'll be fine. That can then go across to the next one, so that was cable and this one is sheets, so that's fairly straightforward. Now I forgot, I've got another one there, so in fact, if I move that just over one tile, that can come there and join. So that's another one of those. So I'm going to use the map view actually. If I turn that and that off, I can see the icons easily. So they're upgraded. There's a steel one down there, so let's get this steel. This one I think I can just come straight down here on. So put in another junction, down vertically, get as close as possible, and going to want to go into there, so that's for the steel. So I've got all of those ones. There's an aluminium down here. Probably the easiest way to get to this one will be horizontally, so basically there. Change that, come across here. This I'll put some in there, and there. If I link up to that one, don't use up a tiny amount of lubricant, so I'm not too worried about whether I use red or basic pipe. I think I've got plenty capacity either way. Another steel one here. Let's see which way is going to be best for that. Right, so there's another one down there. So let's put one pipe there, one pipe there. Change the recipes, so otherwise it's not going to do any good sending lubricant to something with the wrong recipe. That would be pretty pointless. So they can go there. I can't connect there. What I could do is move that down. So that's not going to work there. I can't get through there anyway. I guess what I can do is put that there, and then put that there. I can have a little kink in it, doesn't really matter. Where's the next one? There's one over there, so just keep coming along horizontally. Okay, I need a red pipe here, but that's for the length rather than the capacity, so let's get that in. So it doesn't quite reach all the way actually. Let's just go as close as I can. I think that's going to be the easiest side to get to, because otherwise that inserter's in the way. So that can come there. What else have I got? There's another 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if I'll do it, I'll take a pipe along there, or I'll come down. Let's see if I've already got a pipe somewhere. But yeah, I have got a pipe. I've got a pipe here for the fast transport belts already. That's what the original lubricant was built for. So let's upgrade that one to... Oh, it's going to be tricky getting across there, isn't it? How can I do that efficiently? Maybe like... I guess this will work. If I put that there, that goes there, and that goes there. That works. Then I want to get across to this one. So that's going to be... Oh, it's going to be another tricky one, isn't it? It's going to be like that, I think. Maybe a red pipe can reach the whole way in one go. It can. Did I change the recipe? Nope, almost forgot. Let's see what else I got. So, upgraded, upgraded. One down there, right in the middle. How do I get to this one easily? I want to get from there to there. Move the inserter over, then I can get pipe there. I think I can move that back a bit, in which case they can move over a tad there. That will let me get underground across there, and that'll fit in there. I didn't really design this to have lubricant going to all of them. At the time, it wasn't something I was really considering. So I've got another one here for steel and another one there for iron. And there's one up there. Let's do this one up here first. So that's for wire. That goes there, and this is a bit tangled, isn't it? I think the best I can do is that. Not a very direct pipe, but it will work. That can then come down there. That actually didn't need to be expensive pipe. That can go there, and then I want to get down to this one. Probably easier to go this side. Have another junction somewhere down here. It's going to be there. If I turn that round, yeah, it's going to be there. So that goes there, and then that is just the steel over here, which I haven't given myself easy access to, have I? I think going from the bottom is easiest then. So that's going to be... except there's no way I'm going to get a pipe in there for a junction. That's going to be a pain. Let's go to the right. Let's try this. So that's going to end up over here. I guess I can just move this one. I'll just do it here instead. It'll be easier, I think. Get a red pipe for that one. Yeah, that'll do. All of those ones, all of those ones, all of those ones. So that's all of the metal processing here that I can upgrade. Not going to worry about science right now. I might go upgrade this in a little bit later. But for the time being, this will work. So moving on to doing with the gravel. So I think what I want is sand here, which I'll merge into there in a little bit. So it has sand and mineral dust as an output, so I can filter this. So sand, whatever that is, can go upwards. And then this crushers here for the gravel. I think I can put them just like this. But I've got a choice here, so now this is where doing it. So that's going to be there. Output on the bottom, input on the top. Wherever the power wants to go, and then slag reprocessing is this one here. So just going to be input and output. And what I've done is I've extended the belt over from here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start unloading some of these boxes, but it's going to take me a while, I think, to get through all of these. And that basically just extends all the way around to here. And I think gravel is going to be, yep, the left-hand one. So gravel comes down here. Now what I think I'm going to have an issue with is I'm going to just take it from one side of the belt. So let's see if I can do a balancer of some sort on this. So that's going to be the unbalanced form. If I did, what would it be? I guess like that. But that's only going to balance the output, not the inputs, because what's going to happen, I think, is that side's going to come down there. It's going to split onto that side. It's going to be the closest on that edge, because inserters will take from the far side. So I'm going to prefer that side. But if I do this, then it's going to take the left-hand side and put that there, and I think that will balance it correctly. So on to dealing with mineral dust. So mineral dust is going to be these flotation things. Now I need to work out which side is which. So yeah, I'm going to end up with one thing on the side there. So that's kind of annoying. It means I can only put them basically that close to each other in order to facilitate that. Otherwise though, I think what I'm going to have is, if that's going to be like that, then yeah, I can move this up one tile further. That can go there, and let's just get that out of the way. The robots are taking their time. That can go there, and that can go there. I think that's as compact as it's going to get. Let's get the character out of the way. And there is then a space for an inserter there and a power pole there. So it does work out quite nicely. And not sure what the ratio is really on these. So I'm just going to build 4 of them and call it probably good enough. I'm not generating a huge amount of gravel right now, so mostly it's just a question of emptying out these boxes here anyway. Now what I do need though is for the sludge. The sludge, I've already got a pipe for it's over there, so that's easy. Just goes over there. Then I've got the CO2. I guess I can just dump the CO2 into this here. This will use it up eventually. So let's adjust that slightly. It's only a tiny amount of CO2 anyway. And these here, they're a lot closer than whatever's down here providing CO2. So because of how fluids work, they should just get priority by virtue of being closer. Then acid is over here, so I think what I want to do for that is just have a pipe. Did that reach? That did reach. So this pipe can just come along here and then probably there looks good. So I just need to have a corner on it. That doesn't quite reach. Well, it's close enough. If I use a red pipe, it'll reach fine. So I can have a corner there, and that will go into there. So that's going to be fine. So that's a very simple. It's a very simple layout in the end. Once I got round to finally doing it. So for the sound, what I'm thinking is I want this to still have priority. So this is going to be first priority because it will block the aluminium up. Second priority is going to be this. Then third priority is going to be this, and I want it to output both there and there. So I can take this little balancer design here, put that there, so I load on both sides. I think what I can do with this one is just move it up here. And then given those two things, I should be able to just merge them with priority on the aluminium supply. So that goes like that, that goes like that. Don't know what I've got an output priority there for. Then what I want to do is, let's just fix that power pole. I want to take one of the outputs. That's from something old, doesn't seem to be used anymore. Make myself a little bit of space. And first, let's change how this works. What even is that? That's plastic. I'll fix plastic in a moment. No idea what happened to that. Right, let's just change that. So this is emergency supply, but this is fresh supply. So that's going to go up there, and then the backup will go across there, and plastic can go up there. So this should be using this so this doesn't back up, then using this, using that if it really has to. And I'm still not really sure on these stone bricks, and I've got a lot of gravel to use up, so I'm actually going to leave the stone I think for the time being. Once I've used up all this gravel, I can then think about whether I want to turn the stone into more gravel or not, but for now I'll just keep storing the stone here, I guess. So this is working very nicely, using up that gravel and using up this acid here, so this acid shouldn't be blocking up. Looks like actually I might need some more buffer on this sand here so it doesn't block up here. I'm trying to think of a good way to do that. I think it's a huge amount of sand, so what I think I can get away with is if I do that with a box there. And if I can get away with just storing that, I think 2 inserters will be fast enough to keep up with this production here, and hopefully this won't get completely full and stuck. I think it's just because at the moment I'm not using very much sand there. I'm manufacturing those, but I'm also not using that much lubricant. So, not sure. I probably need to use more sand at some point. I guess there's glass as well, so I'm not using glass right now. So buffer storage will probably just help it. So as that starts and stops, it will be able to use up and store the buffer. Otherwise, I think I have achieved my main objectives for today. I have used up the chlorine to do something useful, which also involved upgrading the metal production, so that's pretty nice. And I have got a sink on the graphite. One more time, I have got a sink on the gravel, so I should be able to eventually use up that now, as well as just generally in the background building a whole load more wind power and hydrogen and CO2. So I should be in a good position on that. So a little bit to go until I can do green science, but looking forward to the green science, which is here. I found that I do need this concrete, and I also need the concrete for a few other things, such as getting these here. I need concrete to get the better wind turbines, and I need mortar to get the better assemblers. And both concrete and mortar are down here, so that's actually is using up more sand as well. So even if sand isn't flowing too well right now, doing that should solve that problem. But that does look fairly involved, so I don't think I can do all the concrete stuff quickly, especially by the time I actually make the wind turbines. So I think I'll leave that for next time, so be sure to like, subscribe to see that.